Hello there. Today we're going to discuss some very important changes that Lead Sherpa is making. These changes will affect anyone who signed up for Lead Sherpa prior to May 1st, 2022. About 6 months ago, Lead Sherpa released a new and improved version. Today we will talk about what changes we have made, why we made these changes, how it will benefit you, the new items required to be TCPA compliant, and finally, I'll go over our new pricing structure and a timeline to get everybody moved over to the new and improved Lead Sherpa. So, what did we change? Well, we've implemented a new internal managed provider, which will allow texting to all cell phone carriers without the need of a third-party software anymore. There are some additional steps that users need to take to ensure TCPA compliance, which I will go over in just a little bit. And our pricing structure is now all-inclusive. You no longer have to purchase additional phone numbers or even maintain the health of those phone numbers. We will take care of all of that for you. I also wanted to mention that the new pricing structure is now based on the number of messages you plan to send per day, and the number of uploads is not the driving factor anymore. I'll go into more details about this later. So, why did we make these changes? You are all very much aware of the 10 DLC restrictions that are getting heavier and heavier. You also know the importance of Lead Sherpa, that Lead Sherpa places on staying within those restrictions and being the most compliant software on the market. Protecting our customers is our number one priority. We also need the ability to send messages to all carriers without using another software like Twilio. So if you have a Twilio account linked to Lead Sherpa, you're more than welcome to keep it, but no longer would need to keep that additional expense. We also wanted to make the system easier to use and create an all-inclusive pricing structure with no hidden fees. So here's how you're going to benefit from the new version. Like I said, all-inclusive pricing, no hidden fees. You know what you will be paying for each and every month. There's no carrier blocks. So you can send to all carriers without the need of a third-party vendor. Increased delivery rates. We're seeing an average of 99% delivery rates with this new version of Lead Sherpa. So no more sitting in the 70s, 80s percentile there. 99% is the average now. There is a much lower number requirement. So phone numbers will be automatically added to your account based on the number of messages you send. We will also rotate the numbers on your behalf should your number health go down at all. Regulated channel to increase your protection. So with the additional requirements of the new version, you will be even more protected with the regulations and compliance. Higher volume of traffic per account. This is one we're super excited about. We are the only software on the market today that allows for, give or take, 30,000 messages per day to be sent from one market. And the number of messages are now on an account level. So the total number of messages per day are for the entire account, not per market. So you can change the number of messages that you send per market without making any changes to your account. And again, I'll get into further detail on that in just a few minutes. So in order to use the new version of Lead Sherpa, you must be 10DLC registered. If you are not registered, or if you're missing any key items from your previous registration request, you will be prompted to complete these items inside of Lead Sherpa. So in order for your registration application to be approved, you must have an EIN or an employer identification number through the IRS. If you don't have one already, you can go to the IRS website and you can register for one. You will need to wait about 5 days for the IRS to process this before you can register for 10DLC. This information that you have submitted needs to match exactly what is on the IRS file, or the application will be denied. Also, you must have some sort of social media presence, real estate investor website, or a business, Facebook, Instagram, showing some sort of REI business. Please note that this approval process is not done by us. We have no control over approving or denying your requests. We're just giving you the best tools that we can to get you guys approved. So, with that being said, this process can take up to 48 hours to be approved, although we usually see it a lot faster if the information is all correct in there. If you do get a denial, please reach out to support@leadsherpa.com and make sure that you have your EIN verification letter handy. If you applied a long time ago and don't know where that is, you can request a duplicate letter from the IRS. We need that in order to help verify you with that third-party entity that is approving these requests. So once you are 10DLC registered, there are a few steps to get you moved over to the new system. So the first thing you're going to need to do is add a new market. So a market is just an area code in which you will be sending messages from. That's all it really is. The provisioning of these markets is completed by third-party entities, and this process can take anywhere from 2 hours to 2 weeks. But you will still be able to send messages from your old markets at this time. So you will not be billed for the new market, but it will be on the new system. So as soon as you add that new market, you start using the new market. You'll need to start creating campaigns using this new market. Once this market is created, please don't send any new messages or start any new campaigns from the old market. This will only prolong the migration process and only hinder you in the long run. So once you've done that, you will finish any ongoing conversations from the old market. Don't start any new conversations, but any incoming messages received can be responded to. But you're going to want to make sure to close the loop on these conversations as quickly as possible. That way you can then release the old markets. Once you feel those ongoing conversations are done, you release those old markets. If you complete this, all four of these steps prior to your next billing date, you will not be charged for the old additional market. So getting that done will save you $100 a month until these markets are closed. So here's some really important dates to note. November 15th, everyone needs to have their new markets added. This step only takes a few minutes to do. It could take longer to process it, but for your part, it's literally just click add a new market, select the area code, and you're done. So it can take up to 2 weeks to get this market ready to use, but your part of it literally just takes a second or two. So the faster you get this done, the better off you will be, because the next date is November 30th. That is when the ability to send new messages or new campaigns from the old system will be disabled. We want to make sure there's no time gap in sending messages. So we need to make sure that your new market is healthy and ready to go before November 30th. So the faster you get this done, the better. Lastly, December 30th. This is when all old markets will be removed from all accounts and any ongoing messages will be disabled from the markets. So again, I cannot stress the importance of getting this done sooner rather than later. What will happen is if you do not have these markets set up and if you are not using these new markets for conversations, those old markets will be deactivated and you will not be able to send or receive messages. So getting these done as soon as possible is very, very important. There is absolutely no benefit in waiting. This change is happening to all of our customers, and we want to make sure this transition is as seamless as possible for you. So as I mentioned previously, our pricing structure has changed. You will notice we now have 3 tiers: Core, Pro, and Enterprise. So here's how it works. Let's say you're on our Pro plan for $1,000 a month. With that, you will get 3,000 initial messages per day. Now, an initial message is any message sent to a prospect that has not replied yet. Once they reply, all further messaging is included in this price. So this also gets you 60,000 monthly uploads. Again, phone numbers are all included and managed on your behalf, so you don't have to worry about phone numbers at all. So now let's look at add-ons. So let's say you do business in 2 different locations. No problem. Just add a market to your plan. This will get you the additional area codes that you need. Now, remember how I mentioned that daily messages are on your entire account and not on a market? Well, this is how it works. So on the Pro plan, you have 3,000 messages per day, and you do more traffic in, let's say, Philly than you do Orlando. No problem. You decide how many messages you want to send each market. So let's say Monday, you send 2,000 messages to Philly and 1,000 to Orlando. But Tuesday, you want all 3 to go to Philly. Great, that's fine. You don't need to make any changes to your account. You're just going to click send in that market until you're done. So now let's talk capacity. If you want to add capacity, you could do so at any time. Again, we'll use the example of the Pro plan. You have 3,000 included, but you're not ready to jump to the 6,000 plan yet. So you can just add capacity to your plan. You'll get blocks of 300 messages and 3,000 additional uploads for an additional $100 a month. So capacity and markets are purchased separately, and one does not affect the other. Lastly, we know that change can be hard, and we are just trying to make our product the best on the market. And this is one step closer to us getting there. So if you need any assistance, or if you have any questions regarding this, please, please, please reach out to support@leadsherpa.com for assistance. We are here to help however we can and make this transition as smooth as possible. The other thing is on Thursday, November 10th, we will be having a Q&A session, a live Q&A session. The link should be added to the email that you have received this in. Please join that if you have any questions, or reach out to support, and we will get all of your questions and concerns answered very quickly and get you guys migrated over and using our new and improved system.